Good morning all. So last class we have discussed about isolator and circulator, and before that we have discussed about this directional coupler, how it works, what are the parameters are there. Now in today's class we are going to discuss few numericals on those particular devices. Directional coupler, isolator and circulator, whatever the questions we will discuss, it is based on the passive devices. Okay. So let me discuss the first question. A directional coupler has the scattering matrix. So this is the scattering matrix, and directional coupler is a 4-port. Okay, as we have seen. So directional coupler is a 4-port device. So first 2 port will be with respect to the primary, and second 2 ports will be with respect to the auxiliary arm. So if you consider this one as port 1, this is port 2, and this is port 3, and this is port 4. Done. So now if you fit the power at port 1, so this is P1, power available at port 2 is P2, and power available at 4 is P4. Okay. If you fit the power at port 1, that means some of the power is available in the primary arm. So this is called as our primary arm, as we have discussed earlier. So this is called as a primary arm, and this is called as a secondary arm. Secondary arm itself indicates it is called as an auxiliary arm. Auxiliary arm. Okay. So now some of the power will flow to the port 4, and some of the power reflected back to the port 3. But when we are exciting port 1 with respect to port 3 will act as an isolation port. So whenever we are going to identify the isolation factor, we have to take a ratio between power input at port 1 with respect to port 3. If it is with respect to 4, port 1 with respect to port 4, you are getting the coupling coefficient or coupling factor. Similarly, directivity basically identified in the auxiliary arm. If port 1 and port 2 it is in primary arm, then auxiliary arm will give you the directivity. Directivity is the ratio between port 4 and what is the power available in port 3. So it is a 4-port device, directional coupler. Okay. Find the directivity, coupling factor, isolation, return loss at the input port when all the other ports are terminated match. So all other ports means if I am feeding the power at port 1, all the ports are perfectly matched, means S22, S33 and S44 may be 0. Okay, but depend upon the S matrix, we have to see whether it is match condition or whether it is a mismatch condition. Now here you can see this is our S matrix is available. Since it is a 4-port network, we will have 16 parameters. S11, S12, S13, S14, similarly up to S44. Okay. So this is our S11, this is our S22, this is our S33, this is our S44. Here the diagonal elements are not 0. That means these are mismatch condition. And we know that the passive devices are very poorly matched condition. We need to match it. The reflection coefficient need to be matched with respect to the transmitted part. Then only the maximum power is going to be delivered. Now with the help of these parameters, how we are going to identify the directivity, coupling, isolation and return loss. Okay. Now let the port 1 is excited with a power. Okay. So that means the return loss first, which I am going to calculate, that is called return loss. So return loss at port 1. So return loss at port 1. So what is the relation? The relation is minus 20 log base 10 of reflection coefficient. So this is my basic relation. So what I will do, I will put minus 20 log of S11, because it is mod of S11, because we are identifying with respect to port 1. So S11, if I am substituting, how much it is? Magnitude. So magnitude is minus 20 log base 10.05. Now if you solve this, you will get near about 26.5 4 dB. Okay, so this is called my return loss. Return loss with respect to whom? With respect to port 1, because here we are identifying all the values by considering that port 1 is excited. Okay, then we have to calculate the directivity. So directivity. So directivity means we will see the auxiliary arm. Okay, and in this our relation will be it is 10 log base 10 P4 by P3. So this is our relation. Now P4 by P3 in terms of scattering parameters, if you solve, you will get minus 20 log S43. Okay, S43. 1 minute. Okay. So S. So here we have to see S power at port 4 and power at port 3. So how it is related with respect to port 1, that parameter we have to insert, because the power available at port 4 is due to the port 1. So power available with the port 4 due to the port 1 is S41 divided by the power available at port 3. So it will be S13. Okay, so it is S13 and this is S14. So from this you can substitute S14 and you can substitute S13, and if you substitute here you will get your directivity. So if I am going to substitute minus 20 log base 10 S14 is 0.05 and S13 is 0.1. This is S13 and this is S14. Why I have took this S14 and S13? Because we are feeding the power at port 1. It is coupled with the port 4 and isolated with respect to port 3. So now when I am identifying the directivity, what is the power available at port 4 and power available at port 3? With respect to whom? With respect to port 1. So this is the relation how we are going to substitute the scattering parameter. So power 4 is related with respect to port 1. So it is S14 I have considered. At power 3, what is related with respect to port 1, I have considered S13. So S14 from this matrix, you can see it is magnitude is 0.05 and S13 magnitude is 0.1. I have substituted here. With the help of calculator you can solve it and you will get around minus 20 log, it is 0.5. Okay, so near about 20 into 0.5, so it is 10, so it will take as a numerator, so 10 minus 5, and you will solve some values. Okay, so this much dB it will come, and this due to the 0.5, this negative term will come out, it will become as a positive value. Calculate it, you will get some value. So that is called as our directivity. So directivity is basically identified with the help of whom? With the help of the given scattering parameter. Okay, and we have identified where the directivity in the auxiliary arm. Okay, the next is our coupling factor. Coupling factor. Now coupling factor, as we have a relation 10 log base 10, coupled power is P1 by P4. Okay, so it is a P1 by P4. So coupling factor is P1 by P4 and we will have minus 20 log mod of S14. S14. So P1 is coupled with respect to P4. So we will have S14. So what is S14? S14 is 0.05. Okay. So here I will substitute minus 10 log base 10 of 0.05. Done. If you solve this, your coupling factor you will get around 26 dB. Okay, so this is called as our 26 dB. Similarly, last one, which is called as our uh, isolation factor. Similarly, the isolation factor, we have a relation 10 log base 10 P1 by P3, because we are feeding the power at port 1 but no output at port 3, so P3 is isolated. So here I can substitute minus 20 log base 10 of S13 mod S13. So S13 is how much? 0.1. So it is minus 20 log base 10 of 0.1. So you will get near about 20 dB. So like this you have to analyze, you have to calculate, and you have to see that which scattering parameter is suited for it. As in this case you can see the directivity, the power available at port 4 and port 3, but it is linked with whom? Linked with port 1. So directly I have written with respect to port 1. So similarly here port 1 and port 4 I have written S14 because these are coupled. So no need to substitute other value. Directly with respect to 1 it is related. If it is not related with 1, you have to make it with respect to 1. So P4 is related with respect to 1 means S14, or you can substitute S41. Both are same, you can see. S14 is 0.05. S41 is also called as our 0.5. This is S41, this is S14. Okay, like that you have to substitute. So this is the one simple example for the directional coupler. Hope you people have understood these all things. Next we will discuss one more question. So this is one more question. So as you can see, 2 watt power source is connected to the input of a directional coupler. Consider it is port 1, okay, with coupling factor 20 dB, directivity 35 dB, and insertion loss is 0.7 dB. Okay, find output power at the through coupled and isolated port. Assume all the ports are perfectly matched. Here we have to identify all the powers. Okay, all the coupling factor is given, directivity is given, insertion loss is given. We have to calculate the individual power available in those particular ports. So as it was given, the power available at port 1 is 2 watt. Okay, you need to convert into a dB. So what you will do, it is 10 log 2 divided by 0.001, you will get around 33 dB. Okay, 33 dB meter. So it is a basic relation. So this relation you should remember. So it is a 10 log 2 divided by 0.001, 33 dB. If it is 4 watt, substitute here 4. If it is 10 watt, substitute here 10. Convert into dB meter. Now once port 1 power is known, next we have to calculate the power at port 2, power at port 3, power at port 4 with the help of these values. So what are the given data? Coupling factor is 20 dB, which is equals to, if it is coupling means it is related with respect to port 1 and port 4. So here I will write 10 log P1 divided by P4, which is equals to P1 by P4 is equals to 10 to the power 2, because this 10 will come here, it will become 2, and 10 to the power 2. So here power P1 is known, so P4 is equals to P1 divided by 10 to the power 2. So P1 is 2 watt divided by 10 to the power 2. So we will get around 0.02 watt. Okay. Now this 0.02 watt you need to convert into dB, because the power P1 you have converted into dB. So power available at port 4 will be 10 log 0.02 0.002 divided by 0.001, which is equals to 13 dB meter. Okay. So it is power is P4 is this much. Okay. Next, with the help of directivity is 35 dB meter. This we can calculate. It is 10 log P4 divided by P3 auxiliary arm. Okay, which is equals to, I can write P4 by P3. Done. Which is equals to 10 to the power 3.5, and P3 is equals to P4 divided by 10 to the power 3.5. So what is my P4? P4 already we have determined, that is 0.02 divided by 10 to the power 3.5. You calculate it, you will get P3 is around 0.063 watt. Okay, and convert into a dB, you will get around minus 12.0 dB meter. Okay, this is 13 dB per meter. P3 is minus 12.0 dB per meter. Okay, and next one is insertion loss. Insertion loss is basically measured in the primary arm. Ratio between output power available at port 2 with respect to port 1. Remember that. So it is 10 log base 10 P2 divided by P1, which is equals to 0.7 dB, and that too, it is P2 by P1, we will have 10 to the power 0.07. Okay, this 10 will be divided here, and P2 is equals to P1 into 10 to the power 0.07 value. So P1 is 2 watt, 2 into 10 to the power 0.07, which is equals to 1.7 watt. Convert this one into dB per meter, you will get 32.3 dB meter. Okay, so all the power we have identified. The power at port 1 is 2 watt. Power at port 2 is how much? 1.7 watt. Power at 3 is very negligible, 0.063 watt. Okay, and power available at port 4 is 0.02 watt. Now one thing, if you combine all these things, you will get around 2. So it acts as a power divider also. Okay, so this is one sort of an analytical question. So one more question we will take. Okay, so this is a very small question with respect to isolator. As the isolator is a 2-port network, as we have already seen, we have S11, S12, S21 and S22. Okay. Now the thing is, a match isolator means the 2 ports are perfectly matched. The 2 ports are perfectly matched means S11 and S22 are tends to 0. Reflection coefficient is 0. And we have left with S12 and S21. In isolator, this S12 is not equals to S21 because there is no reflection happens. The power will be only provided in unidirectional, 1 to 2, not from 2 to 1. Okay. And here the hints are given. Insertion loss is of 0.5 dB and isolation is 25 dB. With the help of these two, we can determine this S12 and S21. How? Let's see. So first, insertion loss. Okay, first is insertion loss. insertion loss is basically identified from which particular port to which particular port power is flowing. Now, it is a two-port network. This is port 1 and this is port 2, and power is flowing from 1 to 2. So if it is flowing from 1 to 2, that means insertion loss will be, how much it is? 0.5 dB is given to us. Now insertion loss will have minus 20 log base 10 mod of S21, because power is flowing from 1 to 2. So insertion will be S21. Similarly, isolation means 2 to 1. Power will not flow from 2 to 1. So for that, the S12 will help us to determine the insertion or isolation loss. So here it is minus 20 log base 10 S21. If you solve this, you will get around S21 is equals to 10 to the power minus 0.5 divided by 20. If you solve this, you will get around S21 is equals to 10 to the power minus 0.025. Okay, so this is our S21. Similarly, isolation is identified with 25 dB. Isolation means there is no power reflected from port 2 to 1, so it is isolate with each other. So in that case, I can write minus 20 log base 10 of S12. So if you solve this, S12 10 to the power minus 25 divided by 20. Okay. So you will get around minus 5 by 4 10 to the power minus 1.25. So this is my S12. This is my S21. So what will be my S parameter? Since all the ports are matched perfectly, diagonal elements are 0. S12 is how much? 10 to the power minus 1.25. S21 is how much? 10 to the power minus 0.025. So this is my S parameter for the isolator, if the isolation factor and the insertion loss is given to us. Okay, it is quite easy. One more question we will take. Okay, so this is one more question. As you can see, a 3-port circulator I have took. Now, circulator has an insertion loss of 1 dB, isolation of 30 dB, and VSWR is 1.5, and we have to identify the S matrix. Now since it is 3-port, it is given, so that means how many number of scattering parameters will be there? There will be 9 scattering parameters. S11, S12, S13, S21, S22, S23, S31, S32 and S33. So these are the scattering parameters. Okay, and in circulator, 3-port circulator means, suppose this is my circulator and this is port 1, this is port 2 and this is port 3. Basically the angle separation is 120 degree, so I will write like this. Okay, this is port 2 and this is port 3. So working principle of circulator is what? It will only rotate in a one direction, and there is one small ferrite element is there which will absorb all the reflected waves. So when the power is fed at port 1, the power is available at port 2, not at port 1, because it is in clockwise direction, and that too it is unidirection. So the parameter S21 is not equals to 0 and S12 is equals to 0. This is the analogy what we have seen. Okay. Next, if the power is fed at port 2 and it will be available at port 3. So for this we have took S32 is not equals to 0 and S23 is equals to 0, means there is no reflected back. It is isolated port. Okay, so it is 0. Similarly, if I will feed the power at port 3, the next power is available at port 1. So that means here I can write S13 is not equals to 0, but S31 is equals to 0. So that means S31, S23 and S12, this indicate the isolation port. Remember this. So here I will write it is isolation. Here also it is isolation. And here also this S31 is isolation. Okay, remember this. Next, here the insertion loss is given, isolation factor is given. So from this isolation factor we can see all these parameters may equal. So first I want to determine the isolation first. With the help of that, so here I can make S12 is equals to S23 is equals to S31. This is called as isolation port parameters. Okay, isolation port parameter. How to determine it? Let's see. So here the power is fed at port 1. So isolation will be what? S12. So isolation is given, isolation is 30 dB, which is equals to minus 10 log base 10 mod of S12, like this I can write. Okay. Now with the help of this S12 you can solve as 10 to the power minus 1.5. Okay. So S12 is isolation value. Similarly S12 is equals to S23, which is equals to S31. So this parameter we have identified with whom? With the help of isolation factor. Done. Similarly, here insertion loss is given. Insertion loss. Now what is this insertion loss? The insertion loss is identified in which particular port the power is available with respect to the input port. Suppose if I am feeding the power at port 1, the output is available at 2. So what is the insertion loss will happen? Insertion loss will be S21. Okay. So it is insertion loss is equals to 1 dB, which is equals to minus 20 log base 10 S21. Now this insertion loss is related with respect to other ports also. So here I can write S21 is equals to S32 is equals to S13. Done. So if you solve this, your S21 is equals to S32 is equals to S13 is equals to 10 to the power minus 0.5. So this is the S parameter we have determined with respect to the insertion loss. This is we have determined with respect to isolation loss. And one more hint is given, the VSWR. So VSWR is 1.5. VSWR is given means this reflection coefficient you can determine. How? Let's see. So reflection coefficient is VSWR minus 1 divided by VSWR plus 1. This relation already we have seen in our transmission line equation. So here I can write 1.5 minus 1 divided by 1.5 plus 1. So it is 0.5 divided by 2.5. So that is 1 by 5, or we can say it is 0.2. So that means S11 is equals to S22 is equals to S33 is 0.2. Okay. So here all the parameters we have determined. S12 which is equals to S23 which is equals to S31. These all are isolated ports. So isolation factor we have identified. Similarly, insertion loss adjacent port relation. So it is S21, S32, S13 is 10 to the power minus 0.5. And with the help of this reflection coefficient, you can determine the diagonal element S11, S22, S33, which is equals to 0.2. Substitute all this value in this matrix. You will get your actual value. Okay. So I can write the S matrix S11 is 0.2, S22 is 0.2, S33 is 0.2, all the diagonal elements. Okay, S12 is how much? 10 to the power minus 1.5. 10 to the power minus 1.5 is 0.32. That means S12 is this, S23 is also 0.32 and S31 is also 0.32. Okay. Next, S21 and S32, S13 is 10 to the power minus 0.5. If you calculate it, you will get around 0.89. Okay, so this is 0.89 and this is 0.89. So this is my S matrix for the given circulator, in which insertion loss is 1 dB, isolation loss is 30 dB and VSWR is 1.5. With the help of this thing, I have identified the S parameter for the circulator. Okay. Similarly, in other terms, if they give as a 4-port network, then same analogy you have to follow. Okay. In that 16 parameters will be there, but here it is, since it is a 3-port, so I have considered 9 parameters. So next question we will take. Okay. So this is the last question which we are going to discuss today, and then we'll wind up. So here you can see the collinear port 1 and 2 of a Magic T. Magic T means 4-port device, in which in collinear arm 1 and 2 are terminated with an impedance in which we are identifying the reflection coefficient at port 1 is 0.5, reflection coefficient at port 2 is 0.6. Okay. And the difference port 4 is terminated with an impedance with reflection coefficient 0.8, means at port 4 reflection coefficient is 0.8. And if 1 watt of power is fed at port 3, now here you listen. Now the power is fed at port 3. If the power is fed at port 3 is 1 watt, then we have to calculate the distributive power. And remember that port 3 is a difference arm, port 4 is the sum arm. So when you are giving the power in port 3, the equal and opposite power is available at port 1 and port 2. Okay, and no relation with respect to port 4. So that also we have to see. And we have to form the reflected, and we have to calculate the reflected at port 3 and the power division in the other ports. Okay, so power reflected port means B3, because at port 3, let us consider this is port 3. Okay, port 3, and let us consider this is a box. This is port 1, this is port 2, and this is port 3, port 4, port 4, port 2 and port 1. So from port 3 there is no link with port 4. The power is only available at port 1 and port 2. I have considered like this. This is a box. So power is related with respect to 1 and with respect to 2. Okay. Here the incident is A3 and the reflected is B3. And we have to calculate what is the power division in other ports. So we have to calculate what is B1, what is B2 and what is B4. Like this we have to calculate. So how to calculate this? We have to identify the S matrix for that. S matrix for the given situation. So S matrix for the Magic T, in which the power is fed at port 3, not at port 4, port 3. So what will have? These components are 0, then it is 1 by root 2, this is also root 2, this is also 1 by root 2, and this is minus 1 by root 2. Now in previous discussion, the minus sign is here. Why? Because in that case we have given the power fed at port 1 and port 2. Here we have given the power at port 3. So negative sign will come here. Directly I am writing. Okay. So next one is 1 by root 2. This is also 1 by root 2. This is also 1 by root 2. And this is minus 1 by root 2. And these all parameters are 0. And this S matrix is basically related with the reflected potential with respect to the incident one. B1, B2, B3 and B4. With respect to whom? With respect to A1, A2, A3 and A4. Reflected wave with respect to incident wave. Okay. And here all the reflection coefficients are given. So reflection coefficient, if it is given, it is easy to determine A1, A2, A3 and A4. How? Let's see. Reflection coefficient 1 means it is B1 by A1. Okay. So A1 is equals to, okay, so here the power is given with respect to port 1, so B1 will act as an output and the A1 will act as a reflected wave. So A1 is equals to eta 1 into B1, A2 is equals to eta 2 into B2 and A3 is equals to eta 3 into B3 and A4 is equals to eta 4 into B4. Okay. So what is our eta 1? Eta 1 is 0.5 B1. What is eta 2? It is 0.6 B2. What is eta 3? Eta 3 is reflection coefficient observed at port 4 is 0.8. So 0.8 B4 and the incident power 1 watt. So no need to calculate the reflection 1. So I will directly write 1 because A3 is 1. I will substitute all these things in above equation. So we have, after this you write the same matrix. I am directly writing what is A1, A2, A3 and A4. A1 is 0.5 B1, A2 is 0.6 B2, A3 is 1 and what is A4? It is 0.8 B4. Okay. Now here all the equation we have represented in terms of B1, B2 and B3. So it is easy to calculate the B1, B2 and B3. Once this B1, B2 and B3 and B4 is known, take the square component, you will get the reflected power. Okay. How? Let's see. So first equation, if I will write B1, so 0 into this 0, 0 into this 0, we will have 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2 0.8 times of B4, equation 1. Similarly, B2, 0 into this 0, 0 into this 0, we will have 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2 0.8 B4. Okay, this is equation 2. Then B3. B3 is this row with respect to this column. So it is half 1 by root 2 0.5 times of B1 plus 1 by root 2 0.6 times of B2 and others are 0. So it is 3. Similarly, B4 is 1 by root 2 times of 0.5 B1 then minus 1 by root 2 0.6 times of B2. Okay. Now here if you add the first two, this one B1 and B2, if you add, you will get B1 plus B2 is equals to 2 divided by root 2. That means root 2 you are going to identify. So here it is B1 plus B2 is root 2. Okay. Because if you add this component and this component will be cancelled out. Similarly, if you add B3 and B4, B3 plus B4, you will get in terms of B1. So it is 1 by root 2 times of B1. So it is okay. So now here we have got B1 plus B2 equals to root 2 and B3, B4 and this one is B1. And you have to just substitute this B1 component here, either this value B1 is equals to minus B2 terms or in terms of matrix multiplication. Unknown factor can be identified with the help of the Carson's rule. Okay. And in that Carson's rule, the unknown factors can be identified B1, B2 and B3. So using this Carson's rule, I am directly writing what is the B1 value. So B1 you people will get 0.65 volt. B2 you will get 0.75 volt, B3 is 0.55 volt and B4 is minus 0.0893 volt. So these are the reflected power available in the port 1, port 2, port 3 and port 4. So first reflected power at port 3, reflected power, So here I will write reflected power. So what is reflected power at port 3? Mod of B3 square. So what is B3? 0.55. 0.55 square means how much? It is 0.360 watt. Okay. Similarly, the power division at the other port, is mod of B1 square, mod of B2 square, and mod of B4 square. So B1 is 0.65, square it, you will get around 0.43 watt. Okay. B2 is 0.75, so if you square it, you will get 0.57 watt, and B4 is minus 0.0893, you will get 0.0074 watt. Okay, so like this you have to analyze the scattering matrix, and with the help of scattering matrix you have to identify the reflected potential first, then square it, you will get your reflected power. So this type of questions may come in your exam. Okay, so next class we are going to discuss the module 3, that is called about strip lines, coplanar lines and parallel lines. Okay, till then practice this sort of questions. Thank you all.